So basically this video is going to be what a standard deadlift night looks for me. 5 sets of 5. This is week 2 for me during a strength cycle, and it's not a lot of fun. It's pretty brutal, pretty basic. So I'm going to deadlift, hit some bench, and then a couple of accessories, and call it a wrap. But check it out. So typical deadlift night for me. For this training block, I need to deadlift and bench in the same night. Every time I've been starting off with a little time on the bike and then some time doing some banded distraction stuff on my hips. This is an ongoing thing, and just whether it's going to be diet or training or mobility, the key really is going to be consistency. There's not going to be any different in any of that shit, and so you've got to do the right things, and this is helping. The band is located right at the top of my hamstring at the butt. A butt leg crease, as I like to call it, or my moneymaker, and it's going to be pulling the hip forward, and I can kind of lean into it and try to stretch through. The arm goes up occasionally to really reach, and pull through the abs and lats, and everything will really stretch pretty hard. I can usually spin that around. I'm not going to do all of them for the video, just kind of half. I'll show you that way the video's not too terribly fucking boring. So this one's just going to be pulling back the other way and pulling the femur back into the socket, and I can stretch and pull through the hamstring myself. Kind of work around and move through each of the angles, trying to find where it's tight, and just keep moving. There's really not a wrong way to do this. Letting my belly hang is what I like to call it. It's my soft meats, and now just really just trying to get it to grind in a little bit, do some flossing on that hip flexor. The other consistent one that I've been doing that's helped a lot is this distraction with my knee planted into the ground. I figured I would switch legs, that way you didn't just have to stare at my butthole the whole time I was doing them. So as you can see here, it's going to pull the femur back, and I can go through the range of motion trying to help get the knee and move everything up, get the femur back where it's supposed to be in the hip socket, since mine's kind of shitty and it's blocked off since I spent so much time sitting on my big fat ass. So those are a couple of stretches. All of these are part of my Shakira hip program. Check that out, MattVincent.net. Moving on to the deadlift. I'm not going to really record every single set here. They look exactly like deadlifts, almost every set. It's pretty amazing. So you can see this week is 5 sets of 5 at 90%. And let me be clear, I'm doing 90% via my program, which means I'm using a training max. As an athlete, I do everything with sub-maximal training. This keeps me healthier. It keeps me working hard every week and making consistent progress, which is what I want to do in the gym. This is probably my third warm-up set. Usually, the bar, and then 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate until I start getting into some working sets. This is pretty much my last working set before I'll be at my prescribed weight of right around 500 pounds for the day. I'm not a great deadlifter. I don't use my legs nearly enough. I've got some flexibility issues, and I like to keep my back round. So all those things, from what I understand, are great technical things for it. But pretty happy here. Things seem to remain pretty strong. It's a little bit more of a 2-part lift than I'd like, where my legs are locking out way early. But it'll get better, and that's the key. Every day I just want to make some progress. So this is as heavy as I ended up going for the day, is these sets. I think I filmed 3 or 4 of these. I'm not really sure. But I'm trying to, as the bar comes back, I'm really trying to lock my lats in while it's on the ground to keep my upper back tight. I like doing a touch and go style for my deadlifts. Gets the heart rate up. I can feel that muscle kind of stretch and hit more of the right positions I need to be in. Always my second or third rep are better, and that's something I'd like to fix. I'd like to have a better 1 rep max. But the other thing I'm trying to do is really accelerate that bar despite it being a heavier load. I'm pretty happy with how these felt. I wasn't in the mood to lift. Really didn't want to train. Had some serious LBP kicking, but so be it. Been doing these as an assistant to try to get my hips a little bit better position. They're not great. Lord knows that's not exactly the widest sumo position there. But the bar's moving pretty good. So I do a couple sets of these afterwards. I didn't film good mornings because they're really boring and they look like good mornings. But with these, I'm really working on trying to sit my ass back into the hole and try to keep my torso vertical, despite that it's, you know, from a 3-inch or so deficit. It's not exactly the most successful at it, but I'll keep working. I had to take a break in my workout to go save my wife from her car not starting. And so once I got back, I was a little cold again, and then just went back for the bench. So this is probably my second or third set in the warm-up to hit my 5 sets of 5. This was my working max, and this was actually the last set of 5. A little struggle on the last rep, but that's okay. You can see here that you know, I'm making sure my setup is solid and that I'm staying tight. A little bit of arch in the back, benching to just below my old tip meet, and driving the weight up. A little fatigued, and yeah, comes with territory training. Oh well. So finished the rep out. You know, I've had a lot of people ask about benching by myself and whatever, so I feel I don't do any weight that I'm not comfortable doing. So this is playing around with a little shoulder rehab after using the Econo lat machine some more. Doing some Indian club bells, a little heavier. I think my sledgehammer is somewhere between 25 and 30 pounds. I haven't weighed in a long time, but I'll go to each side and just try to stay loose and then do some back overs. Stretch the shoulders through. I know Chris Duffin's doing a lot of this with his shoulder rock device, which is a plate loadable version, basically the same type of idea. This is a little longer, so I think you don't have to put as much weight in it. But I also use this as a sledgehammer too. You can get this from Sornex. It's called the Warhammer. It's pretty great tool, basically indestructible. The end of the grip has a knob on it so your hands won't slip off, and it's also ovaled at the end, just like a regular sledgehammer would be. They put a lot of work in this device, and it's a pretty great tool. So thanks for checking out training. Peace.